Do you often find your thoughts drifting to cherished yesterdays, or worrying about what tomorrow might bring, leaving today feeling elusive? Or perhaps you carry the weight of past actions, wondering if true peace and release are still within reach. How can we truly clean our karma and embrace a future filled with lightness and serenity? My dear friends, greetings to you. I see you, perhaps in the quiet of your home, with a cup of tea, seeking a moment of peace, a whisper of wisdom in the midst of your day. It is an honor to share this time with you, to walk alongside you on a path of reflection, not as a teacher, but as a fellow traveler on the journey of life. Life, as we know, is a beautiful, intricate tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, gain and loss, beginnings and endings. And for many of you, perhaps this stage of life offers a unique vantage point, a moment to pause and look back over the landscape of years lived, decisions made, and relationships cherished or sometimes, perhaps, strained. Have you ever found yourself doing this? Sifting through the archives of your memory, replaying moments, both beautiful and challenging? Do you sometimes wonder about the echoes of these moments, how they still resonate within you today? We speak today of cleaning your karma. What does this truly mean? For some, the word karma might conjure images of fate, or perhaps even a kind of divine punishment for past wrongs. But in the gentle light of Buddhist wisdom, karma is not a judgment handed down from on high. No, it is far more intimate, far more empowering. Karma, my friends, is simply the law of cause and effect, the profound truth that every action, every word, and every thought we choose sets a ripple into motion, shaping our present and our future. It is not about what happens to us, but what happens through us. And crucially, it is about the intention behind our actions. Have you ever felt a lingering sense of unease, a weight in your heart, perhaps from words unspoken, or words spoken in haste, or a quiet joy from an act of kindness you offered, even years ago? These feelings, these echoes, are the gentle reminders of karma at play. It's not about erasing the past, for the past, in its physical form, is unchangeable. But it is about transforming our relationship with the past, and more importantly, shaping the causes we create now to lead to a future filled with peace, clarity, and genuine happiness. Let me share a simple story, one that you might recognize in your own lives. Imagine an old gardener tending his patch of earth. For years, he'd cultivated roses, beautiful, fragrant blooms. But one season, distracted by worries about the future, about his health, about his children, he neglected a small corner of his garden. Weeds began to creep in, thorny and tenacious. Later, when he finally turned his attention back to it, he despaired. "Oh, my beautiful garden," he thought, "it is ruined. All my past efforts wasted." He felt a heavy burden, a sense of failure. He carried this burden, sighing whenever he looked at that weedy patch. Now, my friends, does this resonate? Have you ever looked back at a certain aspect of your life, a career choice, a relationship, a missed opportunity, and felt a similar burden, thinking, "Oh, if only I had done things differently"? This feeling of regret, this dwelling on what was or what could have been, can be like those weeds, choking the joy from your present moment. It's not the past event itself that causes the suffering now, but our continued clinging to it, our inability to let it go. But the gardener, being a wise man at heart, eventually realized something profound. He couldn't go back in time to prevent the weeds from growing. The past was fixed. But he could pick up his tools. He could, with patience and gentle determination, begin to clear the weeds, one by one. He didn't curse the weeds, nor did he lament endlessly. He simply focused on the present act of tending his garden. And as he did, the burden slowly lifted. The act of mindful cultivation, of choosing to create beauty now, transformed his experience. He wasn't cleaning past weeds as much as he was creating future blooms by his present effort. This is the essence of cleaning your karma. It's not about shame or guilt for what has been. It's about a compassionate understanding of cause and effect, and then, with that understanding, making a conscious choice in this very moment to plant seeds of kindness, patience, and wisdom. Many of you, I imagine, are now in a phase of life where you have more time for reflection. Perhaps you've retired, and the demands of a busy career have receded. This can be a wonderful gift, but it can also present its own challenges. The structured routine might be gone, and suddenly you have more space to think, to remember, and yes, sometimes to worry. Have you ever felt a sense of disorientation after retirement? A search for new purpose, new meaning? This search, too, is part of our karmic journey, an opportunity to consciously choose the causes that will bring fulfillment. Let me introduce you to the idea of mindful intention. Every single action, every word, every thought begins with an intention. When we speak, do we intend to uplift or to diminish? When we act, do we intend to help or to harm? Even when we simply sit and think, are our thoughts dwelling in gratitude or in grievance? These intentions, like tiny seeds, are incredibly powerful. They are the true architects of our karma. Consider the simple act of breathing. Pause for a moment with me now. Just breathe. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the air entering and leaving your body. In this very moment, there is no past, no future, just this breath. And in this breath, there is an opportunity to set an intention for peace, for clarity, for compassion, for yourself and for all beings. This, too, is a way of cleaning your karma, by consciously choosing to bring awareness and kindness into the very fabric of your existence, breath by breath. I recall a conversation with a woman, Martha, who was in her late 70s. She shared with me a deep sorrow she carried for decades. Many years ago, in a moment of anger and misunderstanding, she had spoken harsh words to her younger sister, words that caused a rift between them that was never fully healed before her sister passed away. Martha carried this burden like a stone in her heart. "Monk," she said, her eyes filled with tears, "how can I ever clean this? My sister is gone. I can't apologize. The harm is done." Her pain was palpable, and perhaps, dear listener, you have similar regrets, similar burdens of words or actions that cannot be undone in the conventional sense. This is where the profound wisdom of karma offers solace. I told Martha, the past event cannot change, but your relationship with that event can. And your future karma can be transformed right now. We spoke about forgiveness, not just forgiving her sister, but crucially, forgiving herself. We talked about metta, or loving kindness meditation. One suggested to her that she spend time each day sending loving kindness, first to herself, then to her sister, imagining her sister now in peace, and then to all beings. It wasn't about erasing the past, but about changing the quality of her present heart, filling it with compassion instead of regret. Within weeks, Martha looked lighter. She still remembered her sister, but the sharp sting of guilt had softened into a gentle ache, mingled with love. She began to volunteer at a local hospice, offering comfort to families, becoming a source of gentle support. She wasn't doing this to pay off a debt. She was doing it because her heart, now softened by self-compassion, naturally sought to offer kindness. This, my friends, is cleaning your karma. It's about transforming the bitter seeds of the past into the sweet fruits of present compassion. It's about choosing to respond to life's challenges, even the ones within our own memory, with wisdom and love. But what about the worries about the future? Many of you might find yourselves concerned about health, about loved ones, about the state of the world. Will I be well? Will my children be safe? What about my legacy? These are natural human concerns. And sometimes they can feel like a heavy cloak, weighing you down, stealing your peace. Do you find yourself constantly anticipating problems that haven't arrived, creating anxiety in the now? I once met an elderly gentleman named Robert. He had worked his entire life, saved diligently, and was by all outward appearances very comfortable in his retirement. Yet he was perpetually worried about money. What if the market crashes? He'd fret. What if I live too long and run out? His mind was always in a hypothetical, often catastrophic future. This constant anxiety was creating a heavy, suffering karma in his present moment, despite his abundant resources. I shared with him the story of the two arrows. The Buddha once taught that when we experience a painful sensation, say a physical ache or a loss, that is the first arrow. It is inevitable in life. But then, we often shoot ourselves with a second arrow, the mental pain, the lamenting, the catastrophizing, the worrying about the future, or regretting the past. This second arrow is optional. We often choose to shoot it ourselves. Robert realized that his constant worrying was his second arrow. He couldn't control the stock market or the future, but he could control how he responded to the uncertainty. We began to practice mindfulness of his thoughts, simply observing them without judgment, recognizing them as just thoughts, not absolute truths. He learned to gently bring his attention back to the present moment, to the taste of his morning coffee, the warmth of the sun on his skin, the laughter of his grandchildren. This wasn't about ignoring prudent planning, but about distinguishing between constructive action and corrosive worry. He began to dedicate a specific limited time each day to financial planning, and then consciously let go of the worry for the rest of the day. His karma wasn't about the money he had or didn't have, but about the peace of mind he cultivated in response to his circumstances. He was cleaning his karma by choosing presence over anxiety. What if there was another way to look at this stage of life? What if, instead of being a time of decline or worrying about what's next, it could be a profound opportunity for deep wisdom, for cultivating inner peace, and for consciously creating a legacy of positive karma? Many of you have accumulated a wealth of experience, wisdom, and compassion over your decades. This is an incredible resource. How can you now intentionally share that, not just with your family, but with the world around you? This doesn't require grand gestures. It can be as simple as a kind smile to a stranger, a listening ear for a friend in need, a comforting word, sharing your knowledge, or even just radiating a sense of peace wherever you go. These are potent acts of cleaning and creating good karma. I remember another elder, a woman named Clara, who had dedicated her life to raising her children, and then, after they left home, felt a profound emptiness. She worried that her life had not been significant enough, that she hadn't left a mark on the world in the way she saw others doing. She carried this quiet disappointment. One day, she visited a local community garden. She wasn't a gardener, but she found herself drawn to the vibrant life there. She saw an elderly man struggling to lift a heavy bag of soil. Without a second thought, she offered her help. They started chatting, and soon she found herself learning about gardening, about the rhythm of nature, and about the joy of nurturing life. She discovered she had a natural knack for encouraging struggling plants, offering them the right amount of water, light, and gentle support. Soon, Clara became the plant whisperer of the community garden. People would come to her with their ailing plants, and she would offer advice, not with grand words, but with gentle encouragement and practical tips. She wasn't trying to leave a legacy in the traditional sense, but through her simple, compassionate actions, she was creating ripples of positive karma that touched many lives. Her insignificant life became deeply meaningful simply by tending to the needs of others, human and plant alike, in the present moment. This is profound cleaning of karma. So, how do we actively engage in this cleaning and cultivating of good karma? Firstly, mindful speech. Our words are powerful. They can build bridges or create chasms. They can soothe or wound. Before you speak, pause and ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it helpful? This simple practice can dramatically transform your interactions and the quality of your own inner world. Have you ever regretted words spoken in anger? Or cherished words of kindness received? That is karma at play. Secondly, mindful actions. This encompasses everything from the smallest gesture to the largest endeavor. Is your intention behind your actions rooted in generosity, compassion, and wisdom? Or in greed, ill will, or delusion? Even mundane tasks, like doing the dishes or tidying your home, can be infused with mindful intention. When you wash a dish, are you rushing through it, already thinking of the next task? Or are you fully present, feeling the warm water, appreciating the act of cleaning and bringing order? Each mindful action, however small, is a seed of positive karma. Thirdly, mindful thoughts. This is perhaps the most challenging, yet the most transformative. Our minds are busy, often filled with chatter, worries, judgments. We can't always control the first thought that arises, but we can choose whether to cling to it, feed it, and let it grow, or simply to observe it and let it pass. When you notice a thought of anger, resentment, or worry, simply acknowledge it without judgment. Ah, there is anger. Then, gently, consciously, redirect your attention to something positive, perhaps a gratitude, a breath, or an intention of kindness. This practice, often cultivated through meditation, gradually cleanses the mind of unwholesome patterns, creating a spaciousness for peace and wisdom. Consider this. Every moment is a fresh opportunity. Just as the gardener cannot undo the past weeds, he can plant new seeds. You cannot undo past actions or words, but you can choose right now to act, speak, and think with greater kindness, wisdom, and compassion. This is the continuous, gentle process of cleaning your karma. It is not a one-time event, but a lifelong practice, a loving tending of the garden of your heart and mind. Perhaps you are facing physical challenges, the natural slowing down of the body that comes with age. This, too, is a part of the karmic unfolding, the impermanent nature of all things. Can even physical pain become a teacher? Can we meet these challenges not with resistance and despair, but with a measure of acceptance and inner strength? When pain arises, the first arrow is the physical sensation. The second arrow is our mental struggle against it, our wishing it were otherwise, our fear of what it might mean. By recognizing the second arrow, we can choose to respond with mindfulness, with compassion for our own suffering, and with an intention of patience. This, too, cleanses our karma, transforming suffering into wisdom. Sometimes the most challenging aspect of cleaning our karma comes from our interactions with others, especially those who might be difficult, critical, or even unkind. Have you ever found yourself caught in a cycle of reactivity where someone's negativity triggers your own, leading to a downward spiral? This is where the practice of patience and compassion becomes a powerful cleanser. When someone speaks harshly, pause. Remember the two arrows. The harsh words are the first arrow. Your reactive anger is the second. Can you instead choose to respond with equanimity, with understanding, perhaps even with a silent wish for their peace? This does not mean condoning harmful behavior, but it means you refuse to allow their karma to dictate your own inner state. You choose to create positive karma, even in the face of negativity. This is true freedom. Let me share one final gentle truth. There is no such thing as perfect karma. We are all human, prone to mistakes, to moments of forgetfulness. The path of cleaning your karma is not about achieving an impossible state of flawlessness. It is about consistent, compassionate effort. It is about picking yourself up when you stumble, learning from your experiences, and always returning to the present moment with an intention of kindness. Be patient with yourself, my dear friends. Offer yourself the same compassion you would offer a cherished loved one. This self-compassion is a profound act of cleaning your karma. As you reflect on your life, your legacy, and the path ahead, what kind of ripples do you wish to send into the future? Not just for your family, but for your community, and indeed for all beings. This is the beautiful, ongoing work of cleaning your karma, by intentionally weaving threads of peace, kindness, and wisdom into the tapestry of your days, moment by moment. I invite you to pause for a moment, even after this video ends. Take a deep breath, and simply ask yourself, what small, kind intention can I set for myself, for my words, or for my actions, in this very moment, right now? Perhaps you might consider a simple act of generosity, called dana in Buddhist tradition. It doesn't have to be monetary. It could be the gift of your time, your attention, a kind word, or even just a warm smile. This act of giving freely and with a generous heart is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate positive karma and experience inner lightness. Share in the comments below, if you feel moved, one small way you've experienced the joy of creating positive karma. Your stories can inspire others, creating even more ripples of goodness. My dear friends, the journey of life is a precious gift. This stage, particularly, offers a unique opportunity for deep introspection, for healing, and for cultivating a profound sense of peace. You carry within you a lifetime of experiences, and within those experiences, the raw material for transformation. Cleaning your karma is not about erasing your past, but about illuminating your present with wisdom and compassion, allowing you to walk into your future with lightness and serenity. May your heart be filled with peace. May your mind be clear and bright. May your intentions be pure and kind. And may your journey forward be filled with the profound joy of a heart made clear, a life lived with wisdom, and a spirit at ease. As you move forward, how will you choose to weave the threads of your intention into the tapestry of your day, creating a legacy of peace for yourself and for all around you?